Good afternoon. First and foremost, I will appreciate very much your presence here. I didn't think that I will have with such a large number of media here. Just before answering any question, I would like to give a press statement. I suppose that you have received a copy of that. I think some of the questions that might be asked from me, part of it has been answered in this press statement. Therefore, I start reading this press statement, and then thereafter, if there is any question, I will answer to them. In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful, we are too much saddened with the tragedy that have happened for our nation. As you are aware, on the 28th February 2026, in the course of a new series of unprovoked and unjustified acts of aggression against sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Islamic Republic of Iran, in flagrant violation of Article 2, Paragraph 4 of the Charter of the United Nations, the United States and the Israeli regime deliberately targeted the highest official of sovereign member states of the United Nations, i.e. the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei. The cowardly act of terror constitutes a direct assault on the very core principle of international law, including the prohibition on the use of force, the respect for sovereign equality, and the inviolability of immunity of heads of states. It represents a dangerous and unprecedented escalation of war that strikes at the most fundamental norms of statehood and civilized conduct among nations. Heads of states embody the sovereignty of their nations and under international law enjoy inviolability, respect, and immunity indispensable for the independent performance of their official functions. The deliberate targeting of the highest official of the Islamic Republic of Iran therefore constitutes a grave and unprecedented breach of the most fundamental norms governing relations among states. Such act of unequivocal act of terror not only is violation of established principles of international law, but also it recklessly is opening of a dangerous Pandora's box, eroding the bedrock of sovereign equality and the stability of international system. Moreover, Ayatollah Sayyid Ali Khamenei is not only the highest official, but also a high respected religious figure for tens of millions of Muslims in the region and around the Muslim world at large. Such an act of terror carries profound consequences. Therefore, full responsibility for which rests solely within the perpetrators. This is without prejudice to the inherent and unequivocal right of Islamic Republic of Iran to defend its sovereignty, territorial integrity, and its people in full conformity with Article 51 of the United Nations Charter on Right of Self-Defense. Furthermore, since the onset of the new round of US and Israeli regimes unprovoked and unjustified such acts of criminal aggression against Iran on 28 February 2026, military attacks have been directed against civilian objects, including schools, hospitals, and relief equipment and personnel, leading to martyrdom of dozens of innocent civilians, including women and children, with many more injured. As of now, in terms of statistic, I should add that almost 800 people have been martyred. These are clear instances of war crimes and crimes against humanity, and urgent action of the United Nations is required to seize the same and bring to justice the perpetrators. On the first day of the aggression, the deliberate and wanton destruction of primary school in Minab, a small town in Hormozgan province, led to the martyrdom of 165 innocent school girls whose bodies were sadly collected from the rubble after hours of relief operations. So many similar attacks on the same day led to the martyrdom of few students in other cities such as eastern Tehran and Abiyek in Qazvin province, complementing the state widespread and systematic crimes against the civilian populations, making these crimes fall squarely within the confines of the definitions of crimes against humanity. On March 1st, 2026, attacks were directed against Red Crescent buildings, hospitals in Tehran, Ahvaz, and other cities, as well as residential buildings. On 2nd and 3rd March, that we are in the 4th day of this aggression, on 2nd and 4th March, missile launch against densely populated residential areas in other cities, including in Kurdistan province in western Iran. Adding to this long list of war crimes of the US and Israeli regime against great Iranian nation constitutes a grave breach of well-established principles of international humanitarian law known as IHL, and defies the most basic human consideration of the respect for the right to life of civilians. All these acts of aggressions were orchestrated while Iran and the US were engaged in diplomatic negotiations. It has been acknowledged that, like the previous round, these negotiations were a deceptive operation, and the decision to take Iran in war has been made in advance during Netanyahu's visit to US, while President of the United States claims America first. This act of aggression demonstrates that Israel is the priority, and he intends to sacrifice the blood of American soldiers for the sinister goals of the Israeli regime, while Iran has not been immediate threat to the United States. This was confessed even by the American scholars and also political figures. This comes despite the fact that Iran, notwithstanding past experiences and awareness of the US's sinister intentions, entered this negotiation to fulfill its duty to international system and all countries of the world in order to prove the righteousness of Iranian nation in the lack of pursuit of nuclear weapons, and to remove any ambiguity and lack of legitimacy for the pretext for further aggression by the US and Israeli regime. Iran participated in this negotiation and diplomatic process with good faith and seriousness, doing everything to prevent war. Nevertheless, war of aggression against Iran was launched, and most despicable of this act of aggression was operation to assassinate the supreme leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran. Consequently, since Iran is in a state of all-out war and faces existential threat, it has every right as victim state of the act of aggression to defend itself with might, resolve and determination until this war of aggression is stopped. I thank you so much for your attention. Ready to answer any question if any.
Okay, please.
Could you also introduce yourself, that you are coming from which?
Sorry, I'll just sit in order not to block those behind.
Okay.
Ravit Rojanaprut from Khalsot English Online News.
What?
Ravit Rojanaprut from Khalsot English Online News.
Okay.
Since I was asked that we're supposed to ask one question, at least at a time, my questions would be, what would you like to say to Thai people who support the United States and Israel by citing that they support the US or Israel because Iran, your government was is a repressive regime which have killed thousands of demonstrators on the streets in Iran? What would you like to say to them? And if you have time, if I may add, are you satisfied with
Shall I answer the question
Okay,
one by
let's
one?
start with
Because
that. Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
of course I do not accept your comment on the repressive aggression. Your question is directed to the fact that you are getting your information from Western media. This repression of demonstrators is not correct, actually. During the 12 days war, actually they attacked us both. But what was the result was that nationalism by the Iranians, even those who had some problems and critique to the government, get together as a patriotism and they defend their country. They had the solidarity together to protect our nation and our territorial integrity. This, I had already an interview regarding those, the second part of your question. I refer you to look at those answers we have had, because this answer requires a detailed discussion so far. In the demonstration, which was mostly sabotaged by Mossad on the basis of confess of the American figures like Mr. Pompeo and the others, was organized and orchestrated from outside. And mostly, if you see that large number of our law enforcement people have been killed. Therefore, it was another act of terror in our society, and unfortunately those people who came to demonstrate and express their objections, they were killed even by those elements that orchestrated to come to enter Iran. 8 days of that demonstration was very peaceful, but the 2 last days become such a riot, and even our law enforcement were very respectful to the demonstrations. But what happened in the 2 last days was matter of surprise, to the extent that some innocent demonstrators actually killed, and even among them large number of law enforcement people. Therefore, I think that the great nation of Thailand, the people of Thailand, should not get their information from Western media so far. I always look at the Bangkok Post as an English newspaper, very good published, and I see mostly that the news is coming from Western media. Therefore, if you look at the angle of Iran and get your information from inside Iran and from the people, you will see that is different. Even we had the experience that we invited Thai people to go to Iran directly, and they themselves see what are there. And so many people who go to Iran, and they see the difference between what is the narrative of the Western media against Iran and what they see they themselves by their eyes. Therefore, I believe that great nation of Thailand, the people should be very careful on the analysis of the Western media news they get. The relation between Iran and Thailand is so deep that our culturally and politically we are linked from 420 years ago, when Thailand was subject of aggression by Myanmar at that time during Ayutthaya period, and an Iranian advisor who was a clergy and businessman came to the land of Siam and became direct advisor to the king. And still you see in this great land the 6 generations of Sheikh Ahmad Qumi, who link the culturally and politically the two countries. Therefore, I think the Western narrative is not correct. Therefore, we should look at other issues. Thank you.
Waterin Sedekudan from Thai News Agency and thank you very much, Your Excellency. Regarding the current disruption in the Strait of Hormuz, what are Tehran's non-negotiable red lines or conditions that must be met by the international community before Iran will guarantee the restoration of safe permanent passage for commercial shipping?
Well, actually, we, as a country that faces existential threat, will not hesitate to use its geopolitical capacities and leverage. Long time Iran has been the guardian of peaceful passage of vessels in the Strait of Hormuz. Now the very existence of the Iran has been subject to acts of aggression. In this situation, you see that the all area is in war, and we have to defend ourselves. Iran has been guardian of the peaceful passage long time, even after the revolution. So we would not like any threat to any vessel so far, but the area is actually accumulated with the war that has been imposed to Iran. So far, I am not a strategist, I am not militarist to answer these questions so far, but I know that the careful consideration of this issue is in the understanding and consideration of our high-ranking peoples.
From the standard, as an ambassador, will you say anything to Thai people and the government about the impact of the crisis of the Hormuz?
Well, actually, I haven't talked to the government of Thailand because I am here. I'm not in the area to say something to them, but I suppose that that both governments are in consultation with each other. My priority here is that I have been approached by the government of Thailand that some type of people who are living in Iran, Thai citizens, how they can come back to their home. The very first 15 groups was reported to us, and we have communicated with the capital. So far, the government priority of Thailand, as I have been in consultation with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Thailand, their priority is that to bring back we have 200 people that are living in Iran, the Thai citizens. As I have followed the news, the first priority, as His Excellency Prime Minister has announced, is 100, and the way only is that they come from Tehran and other cities to the border with Turkey, and the government of Thailand has announced if the number would be 100, maybe they will send a charter airplane by your Navy to Turkey to bring them back. But to give you the assurance that no citizens of Thai has been injured. I have been in contact with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs here as well as with your embassy, who is now is run by your charge d'affaires, that no citizen of Thailand been suffered. So we are working very closely with the foreign ministry and with your embassy, and I have requested the embassy of Thailand in Tehran. They communicate with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs and other authorities for those citizens that have diplomatic rank. Of course, it is easier. Our protocol department will communicate with them and will facilitate their exit from Iran. For other citizens also, our foreign ministry will communicate with other related authorities that give them the passage from Tehran to Azerbaijan, West Azerbaijan, and through there they go to one, like the previous time in 12 days imposed war. And we hope that they will come back to their home if they would like to come back. Thank you.
Excellency, thank you. Napat Pongsawat from NHK. Like you said earlier, there are about 200 Thais.
Shall you not close the microphone to I can't hear you. Sorry.
Back up. So, as you said earlier, there are about 200 Thais currently residing in Iran, and that their evacuation will have to be through open airspace in Turkey or Azerbaijan. Given the journey from Tehran to Azerbaijan and Turkey is roughly 1,000 kilometers, what assurances or measures are both the Thai and Iranian MFA working towards to ensure safe passage?
Well, the Thai citizens in these cases are not exceptional. There are other citizens of other countries. Last time around, there were no problem whatsoever. They have communicated with our embassy as well as with our Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and the exit permit was given for the 17 staff diplomats in the embassy, as well as some other students. But mostly the students that are studying in Qom, they were not willing to come back so far. Therefore, last time around, we communicated. But what will happen in the way, of course, nobody can guarantee. If the assumptions of the aggressor is that, as they are claiming, that civilians are not subject to their attacks and only military objects they are attacking, I think they will have safe passage from Tehran to the Turkey province. I am not aware if they have any indication that some of the Thai citizens would like to go through Azerbaijan or Turkmenistan. Our foreign ministry has issued a declaration to all embassies that if they are going to have a safe passage, they can use Azerbaijan border as well as Turkmenistan and also Turkey. But seems likely that the Thai government has chosen, because of the previous experience, to send the citizens from Tehran to border with Turkey, and from there, as I have heard the news, if number would be 100, they will send the charter airplane to take them back. Just adding to that, I could say that our embassy now is also confronted with some Iranian citizens that have came here for as a tourist, and because our Mahan Air has not been able to fly from Bangkok to Tehran because of the war situation, our consular section now is receiving them, and they are wondering what to do. Of course, some facilitation has been given by the Thai authorities for the extension of their visa, but me as ambassador and consular section, we are wondering how to accommodate these people. In the 12 days of imposed war, we had almost a large number of Iranian people who came here, but we could succeed to accommodate them with the help of some Iranians residing in Thailand. And I didn't ask the assistance of the Thai government in this case. But in almost, I have the number, almost 160 Iranian passengers are now waiting how to get back to their home. And if maybe I should negotiate or discuss with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Thai authorities if the charter airplane is flying to Turkey to take back 100, maybe we would ask also to take Iranians to the border in Turkey in order for them to go to inside Iran to get to their home.
Sir, Subajon from Thairat Online. Sir, in March of 1994, there was a 10-wheel pickup truck that was a 10-wheel truck that was found with explosives inside and was allegedly aiming to be parked in front of the Israeli embassy. Now, from these round of attacks, can you help guarantee that there would not be any such acts like in 1994?
I have no view of that case, unfortunately. I haven't been here, of course. As of you are saying, I am a diplomat. Also, diplomats have the inviolability.
Can you at least speak in English and in Farsi to guarantee that your nationals would not conduct any retaliation here in Bangkok, in
As
Thailand?
I have been here in 2 years, we haven't had such a thing ever here.
Can you guarantee that, sir?
Well, it is not me to guarantee, but I can assure you that no Iranians has any problem whatsoever to do anything with any embassy whatsoever.
Can you say that in Farsi as well?
To say it in Farsi, why I should say it in Farsi?
So that fellow Iranians can hear from you not to retaliate.
Yeah, this question is not relevant, sir. I've been here for 2 years. I have been receiving the safety as a diplomat here, and that is why you see this large number of people in this embassy has come to hear me. Last time around, in 12 days war, I was sitting here interview, but the ambassador of Israel were somewhere in backside. And also, with the courage, I went to the Senate Foreign Relations Committee and explained what happened to Iran. You know, just tell you, we as Iranians, we have Jews minorities in our country. Yeah, long time they have been living in Iran. We have no problem whatsoever with Jews. The only problem we have is about the apartheid. And Jews are living very good in our country. I mean, maybe in other countries in the region you do not see any Jews, but Iran has a minority of Jews, Christians, Zoroastrians, and they have represented. So it's very wrong judgment about the Iranians who are against any kind of Jews. Yeah. Okay.
Ambassador, Kittipum from the New York Times. The US and Israel have signaled that they will continue to bombard Iran. What is the end game for Iran here? And when you say the Iran is going to defend itself with might, what does that entail? Thank you.
Well, actually, the end game is not for us to decide. We are in the situation that we are defending ourselves. As a victim country of aggression, we have to the last blood of our nation and people who are defending their nationality and integral territory and sovereignty of their country. They have to defend themselves. So those aggressors should be stopped, and then at that the end game will be decided. We have referred this aggression to the United Nations Security Council, which is the supreme body within the Charter of the United Nations to protect peace in the world. And you see that even double standard in the Security Council prevented the Security Council to do its duty in terms of the Charter of the United Nations. You see that use of force in Article 2, Paragraph 4 is completely prohibited. What we are seeing in the international system is the rule of jungle designed by the United States and Israel. Israel has killed almost 75,000 Palestinian people in Gaza. Have you seen any action from the Security Council because of the veto of the United States? So therefore, in this case also, we refer the issue to international community. One of my objectives that addressing this issue in front of the very good media of Thailand is that the international community should be aware of this breach of international norms. So we as a victim country, what we can do? We can only defend ourselves and our people, keep our people's solidarity. Have you seen, I have read the statement, have you seen in terms of international law that the supreme leader of a country, the head state of a country to be killed? These are very irregular things that are happening. I mean, the breach of international law, Charter of the United Nations being devised after the Second World War in terms of collective security. Collective security means security for all, not considering some above the law. You see something above the law. These two have breached everything. And as I have said, unconditionally United States is supporting Israel. So this is the existential threat against Iran. And we have no way but to defend ourselves.
I'm Ganokwan เกิดพลานันท์ from กรุงเทพธุรกิจ Let me ask in Thai please ตามที่มีข่าวเมื่อตอนเช้านะคะ translator ค่ะตามที่มีข่าวเมื่อตอนเช้านะคะว่าทางอิหร่านเนี่ยได้เลือกผู้สืบทอดเป็นผู้นำสูงสุดของประเทศแล้วซึ่งเป็นทายาทของท่านคามานีอีอะค่ะแต่ว่ารายงานข่าวยังเหมือนกับว่ายังไม่ชัดเจนตรงนี้ค่ะก็เลยอยากถามจากทางอิหร่านว่าจริงๆแล้วกระบวนการนี้เสร็จสิ้นหรือยังตอนนี้มีการเลือกผู้นำชัดเจนหรือยังนะคะถ้ายังไม่ชัดเจนยังไม่เสร็จเนี่ยกรอบเวลาที่จะเลือกเสร็จเนี่ยเมื่อไหร่พอจะบอกได้ 2-3 วันหรือ1สัปดาห์หรืออะไรพอจะบอกกรอบเวลาได้ไหมคะแล้วถ้าสมมติว่าเลือกเสร็จแล้วเนี่ยคิดว่าสถานการณ์จะดีขึ้นไหมขอบคุณค่ะ
I may answer in English. So, okay. Well, actually, our system, our constitution has anticipated such a thing, actually. And for this, that we have lost our head of state, the constitution has anticipated a kind of council, including the president, the head of judiciary, and one of the members of the the guardian council will look after the country until the related parliament of the related majlis of electing the next leader would convene. So I am not aware of any confirmation, as you said, that the son of the supreme leader is already elected. I haven't seen the confirmation in the news as yet, or any decision taken by the government. There has been maybe widespread gesture or guess of the media or the people are talking. But as I am aware, it has not been confirmed